Hello everyone and welcome to our scenario. This scenario involves a Year 7 class in a Catholic school during a 60-minute lesson. The key learning area for this lesson is LOT, languages other than English, and the target language is Italian. The lesson involves exploring the topic of name days, which in Italian is known as l'onomastico. L'onomastico is a custom originated with the Catholic and Orthodox calendar of saints, where believers named after a particular saint would celebrate the saint's feast day. The lesson is part of the second topic in Year 7. Students learn to name and recognize others, as well as knowledge about the self. The purpose of the lesson is to connect with Italian culture and traditions, and the lesson outcomes are reflective of this purpose. The lesson is structured in two separate but related activities. The first activity is an individual research task. Students research for their own name in Italian, or if their name cannot be translated in the target language, they may wish to choose a name which they like, or that may mean something to them. Students are provided with a set of links to websites that are able to direct them in their research. Students compile their findings on an individual Word document, then may wish to add images or symbols relevant to the chosen name. Students are left free to set about the outline of their document about the chosen saint name. They are to include details of the chosen saint, the day the saint is celebrated, then add a distinctive feature about the name or celebration in the form of images or symbols. In the second activity, students work together as a class on a live Google document to create a class calendar with the name of the saints that they have chosen. Students work together in a remote ICT session in order to produce a final document that resembles a calendar of names. This activity allows students to work together in a project, to structure their interaction and to be aware of what others are doing, as both a self-assessment and peer assessment opportunity that takes place through ICT. The chosen activities are linked to two domains of cognitive learning theory, namely constructivism and information processing. The constructivist theory of learning developed mainly through the work of Piaget-Vygotsky. It implies an active and meaningful doing and a doing with others in the classroom. In line with this theory, the first research activity allows students to draw meaning from their learning when assimilating novel information. Students learn about name days as it relates to their chosen name. Meaning is drawn uniquely from each student by discovering and engaging with content. Students are given the opportunity to create multiple representations of their findings and be actively involved in the research process of learning by discovery. Students will select and present information that is relevant to them, or from which they derive meaning from. The dynamics of the research task are then transported through the collaborative use of ICT to create a common project. Students are actively assessing and synthesizing information compiled in the individual research task to create a digital calendar on Google Docs. Information processing encompasses the way students are able to actively connect with learning to internalize new information. Both chosen activities for this scenario are based on the assumption that learners acquire information in a variety of ways. Hence, activities bear in mind multiple approaches to the same task. Information processing is conceptualized in Gardner's multiple intelligences. In the first activity, students are given the choice to actively support their own research with additional material, such as images and symbols. The availability of such option is designed for students to consider learning by adopting either a linguistic intelligence in their choice of words, or spatial intelligence as they collect relevant images, or an interpersonal intelligence as they understand the social interactions of the content, or an interpersonal intelligence as they develop self-knowledge and reflection. Multiple intelligence can also be applied in the second activity. Students are asked to work together in a digital environment that acts as a filter to how intelligences are employed. Students may have different views regarding the visual development of the calendar, but are asked in this activity to mediate and to simultaneously apply a range of intelligences together with their peers, using ICT. In reflecting about the effectiveness of the learning experience, it is important to consider both the suitability of the task and the target age and students' personal motivation in the topic. The tasks are designed to provide students with a generous degree of freedom in their research. Students are guided by the teacher, who acts as a facilitator by providing relevant research avenues and techniques. Students in Year 7 are involved into activities that require them to be creative and to maximize their input by adding an element of personal choice. Students' motivation may be driven by personal likes, beliefs, and assumptions of the students towards the task itself. They may or may not relate to saints and name days. At last, students may fail to consider an understanding of integrating ICT and learning as a valuable tool for discovery and active assimilation of new information. It is essential to remember that all students learn differently in different contexts. Furthermore, in the absence of an actual real-life scenario, it is rather difficult to consider all the variables of change in the classroom with respect to the chosen learning theories. Thank you.